NTA. It's all about you.
Gas pipelines are the arteries for powering electricity. When the artery is burst, then the entire system collapses. Vandalizing gas pipelines is a criminal offense against the Nigerian people. Let us join hands and protect our gas pipelines from the enemies of Nigeria. Report any suspected vandal to the security operatives. Let us stop vandals before they destroy our collective national heritage, so we can have the Nigeria of our dreams, where there will be light at all times. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
President Muhammadu Buhari speaks on what to expect in the 2017 budget. Inaugural flight for this year's Christian pilgrimage from Nigeria takes off from Yola International Airport. And Yobe State certified that there is no indigene of the state left in any of the IDP camps in Adamawa State. Good evening and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I am Laure Bala Hassan. President Muhammadu Buhari has vowed to ensure that under his watch, deceitful projects and figures are no longer injected into the nation's budgetary provisions as experienced in the 2016 budget. The president stated this while receiving members of the Good Governance Support Group on a solidarity visit. State House correspondent Adam Musambu reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who described the distortions that happened to the 2016 budget as embarrassing, told his guests that the 2017 budget is being awaited in the Federal Executive Council, and as he puts it, any sign of padding anywhere will be removed. His administration, he said, stands by its pre-election promises of securing the country, reviving the economy, and fighting corruption, but wondered why some people are deliberately turning blind eye to the nation's prevailing realities. He insists that with the present economic situation in the country, it cannot be business as usual. On the fight against corruption, President Buhari expressed the belief that the cleansing currently ongoing, especially in the nation's judiciary, will lead to better administration of justice, where the guilt in corruption allegations are appropriately made to pay for their sins. He used the forum to applaud the progress being made in agricultural development and the exploitation of solid minerals, saying, "This gives a lot of hope on food security and economic diversification drive." The president also spoke on the violence that attend rerun elections in the country, saying Nigerians should have passed the stage in which people are beheaded and killed because of who occupy certain offices, as witnessed in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Rivers states. As he puts it, if we cannot guarantee decent elections, then we have no business being around. Edo election was good, and I expect Ondo to be better. Mr. Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, who spoke on behalf of the Good Governance Support Group, said the Buhari administration has succeeded to a large extent on the security and anti-corruption front, saying there are positive signs that the economy will soon experience a turnaround. Some members of the group spoke to newsmen.
We make observations on what is happening on security, the economy, corruptions, and all the topical issues in this country. He appreciated our inputs and he promises to take appropriate action where possible.
Mr. President said what he's doing is to do prudent management of the resources on hand and trying to plan on how to close up the infrastructure deficit. Like the Mambila project is targeted at 4,000 megawatts of electricity, which is higher than what we have presently. And it is also going to irrigate thousands of hectares of land for agricultural purposes. The East-West Road, for instance, had not been completed. In that loan package is $500 million to complete the East-West Road because it cuts across the nerve center of the Niger Delta region. Mr. President is concerned about the Niger Delta region. For him, the borrowing is not for himself. It is for the Nigerian people.
The Good Governance Support Group recommends what it calls a social rearmament of the poor and the lowly as the biggest constituency of the president. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And the federal government has restated its commitment to support the private sector to revive Nigeria's economy. Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo stated this during an inspection tour of industries in Onitsha and Nnewi, both in Anambra State.
Professor Oshimbajo, who was received by Governor Willie Obiano, visited some industries at Obaru Industrial Harbour before proceeding to Nnewi. Addressing newsmen after the tour, the Vice President stated that the challenges the manufacturers are facing revolves around lack of capital, power, and access to foreign exchange.
I'm here, on the instruction of Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, to see for myself firsthand the types of industries that are going on locally. And of course, we've chosen to come here first because we know that this is one of the most active places in the country for local industry. We have gone just looking around. It's very clear that this is truly the hotbed of industrialization in Nigeria. And I'm very, very pleased.
He maintained that revitalizing the manufacturing industry and the use of local content is in line with the federal government's program to keep businesses afloat, create jobs and wealth for citizens.
I've seen a lot, and I'll be reporting back to Mr. President that whatever we can do to support Harbour, this industrial estate, and so many others, we will do.
Governor Willie Obiano also reaffirmed his commitment to supporting manufacturers in the state.
So this Eastern Distilleries factory, where he laid the foundation stone, by the grace of God, this factory will grow from strength to strength and will employ a lot of Anambra.
The Vice President visited 6 industries in Onitsha and Nnewi. From Nnewi, Benson Osadebe, NTA News.
All is now set for the governorship election in Ondo State, taking place tomorrow. We now join our NTA Network Center in Akure with Amaze as our guide. Hello, Amaze.
Hello, Laurie. Welcome to Ondo Decide Studios in Akure. 28 candidates are participating in the Ondo State governorship election, scheduled to hold in less than 12 hours. 3 out of these contenders belong to the legal profession. Olubukola Aduwo tells us more.
The candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, SAN, was born July 21, 1956 in Owo local government area of Ondo State. A 1977 law graduate from the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. Akeredolu was called to the bar in 1978. The Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, and one-time president of the Nigerian Bar Association, was Attorney General of Ondo State in 1997 and served until 1998. Another governorship candidate, Mr. Eita Ojegede, SAN, was born in Akure, Ondo State. The legal luminary made his political debut in 2009 when he was appointed Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in the state. He is contesting the governorship position on the platform of the PDP. Olushola Alexander Oke, born April 7, 1956 in Ilowo, a coastal town in Ilojo local government area of the state, is another member of the bar participating in the governorship election. He contested in the last election held in 2012 on the platform of the PDP. The fourth contender is Olu Agunloye, a former Minister of Power and Steel and former Minister of State for Defense. He matched the governorship candidate of the SDP, having defeated a string of political actors who contested the primaries. Agunloye had previously been a member of both the PDP and ACN. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
And as preparations towards a hitch-free Ondo State governorship election reach a crescendo, the resident electoral commissioner Olusegun Agbaje has urged the electorate to come out without fear to exercise their voting right. Olubumi Oke reports.
The resident electoral commissioner Olusegun Agbaje said the cordial working relationship among all key stakeholders has paid off in the proper arrangements in place to ensure interests of all contestants, their representatives or agents, and the electorate are taken care of.
Wednesday evening, it has been placed there.
He also highlighted strategies deployed to actualize a successful governorship election in the state.
Security agencies have assured us of adequate security protection for both the voters, our men, our materials, and the journalists covering this election, and even both local and international observers who are also covering this election. So
the state seems to be set for a free and fair polls Saturday, the 26th of November 2016 in Ondo State, and it is only natural to remind all and sundry on the need to be patriotic to their fatherland. Meanwhile, traditional rulers across the state have called for peaceful conduct from the electorate, as no society can achieve growth and development in an atmosphere devoid of peace. In Akure, Olubumi Oke, NTA News.
And talking security in Ondo State ahead of the governorship election, security has been beefed up ahead of the governorship election to ensure safety before, during, and after the election. Olubukola Aduo tells us more.
The police in Ondo State said it has strengthened security towards ensuring a hitch-free November 26th governorship election. Armored personnel carriers are also on ground to assist the police and other security agencies during the election.
We have reinforced with physical 26,000 police officers.
Also, the 32 Artillery Brigade, Owena Barracks, said troops are ready to provide backup services and reinforcement during and after the election.
The pitfalls of past elections we've observed, and we're trying to address all those problems.
The state commandant, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Adeyinka Ayinla, said 15,000 officers of the Corps are fully ready in collaboration with other agencies for the election.
We are there 24/7. You know, the synergy there, both of the police and the army and some other security agencies.
Security personnel have also been stationed at strategic locations within the state to forestall breakdown of law and order. In Akure, Olubukola Aduo, NTA News.
Laurie, that's just a brief on the situation here. Tomorrow is the bigger package, the D-Day. From us, good night.
Thank you, Amaze. Moving on now, Senate President Bukola Saraki says Nigeria must transit towards green growth development since oil cannot sustain the country anymore. National Assembly correspondent Waziri Zayanu reports that Bukola Saraki stated this at the Green Economy Lecture Series and Award in Abuja.
Shortly after being awarded with the 2016 Nigerian Green Economy Award, the Senate President said available data shows that Nigeria can generate over 3 million jobs annually in the renewable energy industry.
I personally pledge to continue working for Nigerians using our legislative powers to initiate and pass appropriate legislation towards our work on sustainable and efficient energy.
Also speaking, Minister of Environment Amina Mohammed reiterated the need for Nigeria to think out of the box and transit towards green growth pathway.
President Buhari's bold and decisive commitment and the adoption of the Paris Agreement, particularly pledging our nationally determined contributions, where Nigeria intends to reduce its emissions by 20% by 2020 and 45% conditionally by 2030, with support from the international community.
From the National Assembly, Waziri Zayan, NTA News.
With the 2017 digital switchover on the horizon, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has challenged the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, to be at the forefront of new, better and focused broadcasting. The minister stated this at a retreat for the management of the authority. Dennis Adegunloye reports.
The minister said that under his watch, repositioning the NTA is top on his agenda, hence describing the retreat as an opportunity to self-critique and analyze. He said an important part of the process is the constructive exchanges, which will go a long way in taking the authority to the next level of service delivery.
My vision is that by the time, in the next 24 months, without any argument, we should be the #1 station in this country and by extension.
An appropriate and right balance, Lai Mohammed says, should be achieved between being a government organization and appealing to the viewer.
How do we convince Nigerians that we are back, or we're on the way back to be #1? The digital era of broadcasting.
The retreat had as its theme positioning NTA for better performance. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Information and Culture is to present 3 bills to the National Assembly in its effort to reposition the creative industry for optimal performance through legislative and regulatory performance. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, stated this in Abuja when he granted audience to officials of the Copyright Society of Nigeria. Anthony Forson reports.
Said the 3 bills to be presented to the National Assembly will be for the National Endowment for Arts, the Motion Pictures Council of Nigeria, and that which will establish the Tourism Development Fund. He explained that the request for this legislation is to enable the creative industry grow for the artists to benefit from their hard work.
It's only in the creative industry that you can get a 27-year-old billionaire. You cannot have a billionaire at 27 in the industry, as an industry. What are you going to manufacture? How will it take you? And the beauty of creativity is one thing in which God has given every human being, every race equally. It is how you exploit it, how you protect it, how you preserve it. And I keep telling people every time, we have great stories to tell the world. In music, in the theater, in the arts, in the industry. But we must first change our perception from the highest level.
The minister, however, assured that his ministry, that of Justice, National Office of Technology Acquisition and Promotion, will collaborate with COSON to fine-tune the private copy levy for its implementation. President of COSON, Tony Okoroji, who showered encomium on the minister, described him as a quintessential public servant whose wealth of experience has been brought to bear. He, however, appealed to the minister for a regulatory framework that will utilize music to create wealth for the nation. In attendance at the meeting were the Directors General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Kawu Modibo, Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, and Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Mansur Liman. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women, observed from November 25th to December 10th every year. What are the implications of violence against women, and how best can the society overcome the negative trend? Talatu Ezerike reports.
Violence against women is considered as an act of gender-based violence that causes physical or psychological harm or injury to women. Forms of violence against women include domestic violence, workplace sexual harassment, child marriage, female genital mutilation, rape, and war. Going by a WHO study, 35% of women worldwide have experienced either physical or sexual violence, though developing countries are the worst hit. For instance, approximately 130 million girls and women have experienced female genital mutilation. In Nigeria, major concerns for many is the spillover effect of Boko Haram insurgency that makes women and girls vulnerable, and the increasing speed of domestic violence and rape that are on the increase.
The day is meant for special people like us, because I'm a victim of domestic violence. My daughter is a victim of child abuse by a steward in our house, and
However, there are interventions and legal framework like the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, VAP, under which issues of rape attracts 12 to 20 years imprisonment without any option of fine.
The act at the moment is the only act that prohibits all forms of violence against persons, both in private and public life.
Violence is wrong, you understand? And the thing is that I think our courts should begin to convict offenders under the VAP Act.
There are also much more, especially in closing economic gaps that portray poverty as the face of a woman.
There is this program that the Federal Ministry for Women Affairs, specifically for women, where women at all levels are to access funds ranging from 10,000 up to 100,000 with no collateral, no.
There's also the Future Assured initiative of the wife of the president. Under it, she's been able to touch on the lives of the average Nigerian woman, especially the internally displaced persons.
For critics, a lot more needs to be done, especially in the areas of politics.
Politically, there's violence against women. Number one, if you look at the political party structure, they reserve just one position for us, women leader.
The stereotypes are gradually eroding, and even the young girls are going to fields that were originally thought to be men-only fields.
As the world focuses on violence against women, the attention in these parts of the globe will be on their advancement to enable them compete well, thereby fulfilling the wishes of iconic women activists like late Gambo Swaba, Fumilaran Samkuti, and Margaret Epo, who fought for the rights of women. Talatu Ezerike, NTA News.
Many thanks, Talatu. And still on violence against women, the full adoption and implementation of Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 by all the states is needed to check incidences of gender-based violence. This was a submission of participants at a conference to commemorate this year's International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, put together by the Federal Ministry of Justice in partnership with UN Women. Fatima Aliu reports.
A 3 or 4 year old who was being raped by a 60-year-old man went viral on social media. The old man was arrested, detained, and later released on bail.
The platform seeks to examine this and other issues, the implementation of legislation, its enforcement, as well as compensation for victims of violence as enshrined in the VAP Act 2015. Statistics by the World Health Organization indicates that the rate of violence against women globally is alarming, while half of victims were killed by intimate partners or family members, Nigeria inclusive. Despite this gloomy picture, participants agree that Nigeria has made tremendous progress in the areas of gender equality and women empowerment.
The rate of child marriage declined. Progress is being made in the area of reproductive health, a reduction in maternal death.
The Nigerian Army has zero tolerance for violence against women and girls, especially sexual exploitation and abuse.
The theme of the conference is Impact of Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act and other legislation on the elimination of violence against women. In Abuja, Fatima Aliu, NTA News.
Women in Lagos State have commended the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, for her ongoing income-generating programs targeted at empowering women across the nation. The women say the Future Assured program will help them overcome the challenges that they face in assisting the male folk towards the sustenance of the family. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
Over 2,000 women are expected to be saying bye-bye to idleness and poverty after the 3-month skills acquisition program by the NDE in line with the Future Assured initiative of Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari.
We will not more wait until our husbands come back before we provide for the children and for ourselves.
Other partners are also collaborating to make sure the 4 economic ventures bring hope to Lagos women. Past beneficiaries of the NDE are on hand to take advantage of the new initiative offered by the Future Assured program.
Last year I learned catering, so I came here to couple them up.
Through this initiative, Nigerian women are expected to attain an enviable level of self-reliance. Emmanuel Ayimiro, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Inaugural airlift of Christian pilgrims to Jerusalem for 2016 takes off from Yola International Airport. This and other stories after the break.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Hello, dear. You've got the first signs of a sore throat.
Yes, and I'm afraid it could be signs of a sore throat.
Don't you worry. Just act immediately, but not with non-medicated throat sweets. Take an expert product. Take Strepsils. Look at what it does to sore throat germs compared to a throat sweet. Strepsils not only stops the germs from multiplying, it even kills them.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, sore throat. Stop a sore throat early. Take Strepsils.
Abuja Geographic Information Systems, AGIS, requests all allottees in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and beneficiaries from the sale of federal government houses to come forward and settle their outstanding ground rents and bills latest December 31st, 2016. All concerned allottees and beneficiaries who fail to clear their bills within the stipulated period will attract the necessary penalties for default, which may include the revocation of such titles. For further enquiries, please contact the Customer Service Division, Abuja Geographic Information Systems, AGIS, number 4, Peace Drive, Area 11, Garki, Abuja, or call 0809-015-4777 or 0805-071-5299. Email info@agis.fct.gov.ng. AGIS Management Announcer.
Would you like some water? It's cold, especially for you.
Which era are you living in? We have a fridge.
When everything else in your house is from the present, then why are your toilet cleaning methods from the past? Harpic, all-in-one for you. Compared to other toilet cleaners, Harpic removes top stains, kills all germs, and removes bad odors for a shining, clean, and fresh toilet.
Wow.
You should also take the Harpic
all-in-one challenge.
The Future Assured project and its components get involved. Initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition. A spectacle. Feel the friendly warmth. Join the celebration at Abuja Carnival Reloaded. It's a celebration of culture, a world-class event, the best cultural party ever. It's a carnival of change. Abuja Carnival 2016. Theme: the creative industry, pivot to economic growth. Destination: Abuja Capital City. Date: December 3rd to 6th, 2016.
Abuja Carnival, a truly national carnival.
Welcome back. This is NTA Network News. The Nigerian Air Force has set up a board of officers to investigate the immediate and remote cause of the crash of its Augusta Westland 101 helicopter, recently handed over by the presidency. A statement by Director Public Relations and Information, Group Captain Ayodele Famuyiwa, said the incident happened last week on the tarmac of 33 Logistics Group, Makodi. The 7-man board is headed by Air Vice Marshal Emmanuel Anibi. The issue of disunity bedeviling Nigeria's socio-economic growth and the need for faithful to embrace proper teaching of the Holy Scriptures formed part of issues contained in the Friday sermon delivered by Deputy Chief Imam of Shehu Shagari Jumat Mosque, Abuja. Sheikh Musa Jubril Abdullahi Aminu was there and now reports.
The sermon dwelt on the need for patience and tolerance, significance of loving one another, and that of Islamic greetings seeking for peace of Allah and His blessings. Respect to one another is enshrined in the teachings of the Holy Quran. The Imam said, the adherents of other religions.
The message of our khutbah today is how to unite. And this brotherhood will teach us or will make us to assist each other.
In my own little understanding concerning the khutbah is about love and tranquility.
Definitely Nigeria today will stay in peace and we will love one another. And the blessings of Allah will be more on us.
The need for Muslims not to engage in of disuniting members of the Islamic community and Nigeria as a nation and to create the suffering less privileged. NTA News.
Yobe State Committee for Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Reintegration of Internally Displaced Persons has certified that there is no indigene of the state left in any of the IDP camps in Adamawa State. A delegation of the committee, led by the Commissioner for Information, Home Affairs and Culture, Yerima Aji Bularafa, said this at the end of a fact-finding mission in Adamawa State. Riyanubala reports.
The Committee for Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Reintegration was set up by the Yobe State Government under the chairmanship of the State Deputy Governor to coordinate and fast-track ushering the IDPs into life of normalcy after prolonged displacement by insurgency. Leader of the delegation and Commissioner of Home Affairs, Information and Culture, Yerima Aji Bularafa, said their mission in Adamawa is to ensure that none of their indigenes is left out of the welfare enhancement project for displaced persons in Yobe State.
We have similar report, or the governor had a similar report, so he directed that committee to immediately go to Benin or Edo State to find out. And we were the same person or committee that went to Edo, and we discovered that
a whole lot. It's going to impact a widow's life, a fatherless life, a child's life.
The theme is, if we love our country, we should love our fallen heroes. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has passed its second reading a bill for an act to amend the National Institute for Legislative Studies, renamed as National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Of the bill, Representative Nicholas Osai from Delta State argued that the amendment will further strengthen the institute to provide training and research services to Nigerians.
Secondly, Mr. Speaker, is to empower the institute to provide training and research services in legislative and democratic study.
The National Assembly Budget and Research Office. We cannot have two institutions under the same parliamentary institution, doing the same functions.
All those areas of conflict with NABRO actions be deleted from the bill.
A bill for an act to amend the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, sponsored by Representative Asabe Velita Bashir from Borno State, and a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, sponsored by Representative Kwande Suleiman from Plateau State, also passed at second reading. Representative Sergio Sogun from Delta State moved the motion on the need to check the serious flooding in Esan, southeast area of Edo State. Speaker Yakubu Dogara granted audience to the International Federation of Women Lawyers, where the need to ensure peaceful coexistence among Nigerians was emphasized.
Say that without peace, progress cannot be made in any given nation. As a matter of fact, peace and democracy, or violence and democracy, cannot cohabit together. Anywhere where there is violence, democracy flees.
Women emancipation and the development of the girl child were also addressed. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Some market women receive soft loans from the Bank of Industry. Let's get details from our NTA Lagos Network Center, and Vera is our guide. Hello Vera, it's over to you.
Thank you, Laurie. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The Bank of Industry, in collaboration with the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Intervention Program of the federal government, has made provision for soft loans to market women in order to boost their businesses. Tagged Market Money, the event
valid bank verification number, which will make it easy for them to access the loan.
The Office of the Vice President has seen the need to have smaller meetings, smaller stakeholder engagements, whereby there will be an opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders. This money is not for chefene or buying something to cook soup in your house, but to empower yourself.
The special intervention program, which is executed by the Bank of Industry, attracted top government officials and women from different parts of the country.
The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, says it is intensifying efforts to ensure that service providers comply with directives from the Commission in its bid to end unsolicited text messages and unwarranted calls to subscribers. This was during the Commission's fourth quarterly meeting and open forum of Industry Consumers Advisory Forum in Lagos. Annie Daniels has details.
Worried about the disturbing development and barrage of complaints on solicited text messages from mobile network operators to subscribers, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, in collaboration with service providers, agreed to put an end to the menace. This followed the introduction of the 2442 Do Not Disturb short code. This will enable subscribers to decline unsolicited text messages and calls.
It's toll-free. You are not going to be charged by sending that message, which is very important for consumers to know. And when you send help to 2442, then you see all the options.
Speakers at the forum noted that though relative success has been recorded, lack of awareness, enforcement and technical hitches are among challenges hampering the full success of the initiative.
And we want NCC to now force them to do this awareness. And the way of forcing is that if you don't achieve a particular level of awareness, probably there should be a fine.
The telemarketing is a legitimate way for people to grow their businesses. It is providing jobs for people, so we can't just cancel it outright. But it is to manage the balance between getting the good side and ensuring that the bad side does not affect the consumers.
The meeting arrived at a consensus that subscribers should be enlightened on what constitutes unsolicited text messages while complying with the Commission's directive. The theme of the meeting is Do Not Disturb, Panacea to Unsolicited Messages. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
New set of rules to deepen the nation's capital market on the way as former governor advocates patronage of locally manufactured goods as a way of developing Nigeria's industrial sector. Let's join Amateur Pius on Business News segment.
Hello and a warm welcome to Business News. Former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, says local industries can only survive when Nigerians begin to patronize goods made in the country. He told NTA Business News that such change of attitude will bring about significant reduction in imports into the nation.
Often their quality is better than what is imported.
Meanwhile, the Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Anthony Osita Aboloma, has assured Nigerians of the agency's resolve to stop such products from coming into the country. He gave this assurance when the agency destroyed fake and substandard products with a street value of over 500 million naira in Lagos.
We'll keep apprehending them, we'll keep destroying them, we'll keep prosecuting them, because our new mandate is to safeguard our growing industries.
The introduction of electronic dividend payment to investors in the capital market has facilitated the disbursement of about 29.2 billion naira out of the 90 billion naira unclaimed dividend. This was disclosed at a media parley with Capital Market Committee members in Lagos.
What we're doing now is to come up with different levels of exchanges. So if you want, you can register an exchange, a full exchange that would have X number of requirements.
And that's Business News. Thanks for watching. The news continues shortly. Good evening.
And if you're just joining us, you're watching NTA Network News live from the Lagos Network Center. We have more reports ahead on the news from Abuja when we return after this time out. Stay with us.
It's the GloCAF Awards Silver Jubilee Edition, where the stars of football and entertainment come together to celebrate the Oscars of football. And we'd like you to join us. That's right. Glo is giving away 300 VIP invites to Africa's most prestigious football awards. To stand a chance to be selected, simply use 25,000 Naira on your Glo SIM between October 10th and 31st December 2016. It's that easy. There's only one place to be, January 5th, 2017, the GloCAF Awards. The largest data network, Glo, Grandmasters of Data.
This must be one of Mother.
You are a star. May you be the secret ingredients that makes a happy home.
Maggi Star, made from natural soybeans and other carefully selected ingredients, prepared in a way only Maggi knows. That's why for generations, Maggi Star has been the secret that brings out the rich taste and aroma in local soups. With Maggi, every woman is a star.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Success. I always wanted to make something of myself. Even when I was a child. With So Clean, my mother made sure that my clothes were clean and bright. With a 30% concentrated formula, washing is faster, brighter, and cleaner. Like millions of families, mine also trust So Clean. With my clothes and with my career. Because when all eyes are on you, you have to look the part. So Clean. It's your time to shine.
So Clean. Now with a new look and stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
Welcome back. You're still watching NTA Network News. And turning our attention now to agriculture. Fadama farmers in Sokoto State have a cause to smile because of the bumper harvest recorded in the last rainy season and puts them looking ahead for the next. This was during the 6th supervision mission on the farms by teams from the federal government and the World Bank. Nalhatu Abdullahi reports.
Interacting with farmers in Raba, Goronyo, and the Wurno local government areas of the state, the farmers delighted over their bumper harvest were full of gratitude to Fadama 3 intervention program of the federal government and find that the program, if expanded with additional hectares of land for cultivation, will guarantee food security of the nation. Minister of Agriculture, represented by Dr. Rio Mai, said the team's visit was to see how possible the federal government can address key challenges facing farmers in Sokoto State. National Project Coordinator of Fadama 3 Additional Financing, Tayo Adeomi, who was impressed with the findings of the supervision mission team, says,
the output is, before our intervention, in 1 hectare of land, they were getting between 50 to 60 bags.
The Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you.